She had first tried to poison her husband around Valentine's Day,
No.
2022.
That's so
That's
sweet.
like-
I'm a real frockist. I love a
You
frog.
are. You could die at any time.
Everyone's like, is this part of it?
Are you part of it? It's women like her that make me want to roll back women's rights.
Oh my God. Get an Uber. It's basically hitchhiking.
Right.
Look at it.
Look at it.
What?
Stop.
Yes. But it sounds like the wife, the girl boss, a little too close to the sun.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Down, okay. So now we're doing the thing. Okay. You are listening to Wine and Crime, the podcast where three friends chug wine, chat true crime, and unleash their worst Minnesotan accents.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's gonna get real.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no.
Gonna get real cute in here real quick.
Who are we?
Oh, hey
I'm
there.
Kenyan. I actually put on makeup.
Oh my God.
Oh, you look fabulous.
Thank you.
I'm Lucy. So do
I'm
I.
Amanda, and I also put on a little makeup because my hormonal breakout this month was just all around my mouth.
That's so weird.
Like,
Just a herpes beard,
Yes.
herpes goatee.
pretty much. Yes, a sweet little herp tea.
Herp
Really,
tea.
really fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I love it.
I'm going to the gynecologist later and I'm going to be like, what can we do about
Look.
my PCOS? Because it is the source of 100% of my problems.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Amanda and I have a big day today.
We have a huge day today because as the crow flies, as we record this, is the Vanderpump Rules finale of season 10.
Sandalaya.
And everyone keeps calling this our Super Bowl.
It's
But I
more
want-
than that.
I want to make very clear that the Super Bowl happens every year. Okay. This is like our hail bop, like Haley's Comet or whatever. Like this has been 10 years of drama and relationship webs all exploding in one.
It has certainly felt like 10 years.
Tell me about it.
You have
So,
no idea.
I mean, if you knew, you'd know, you know?
It's been my boyfriend of 10 years.
It's shocking. It's shocking. And
It's
like
the
the
second
preview,
coming.
did you watch the little sneak peek?
Yeah, girl. I've watched everything.
Every nugget that has dropped. I mean, and I've watched it 8,000 times thinking, am I going to hear or see something different this time? Am I going to infer more?
Body
didn't.
language.
Oh, the amount
Reading
of
celebrity body language is my kink.
the
I
body
love it.
language experts that have been weighing in on every episode this season since we found out about Scandival have been hilarious. Lucy and I have identical TikTok For You pages now. I sent her a TikTok this morning as she was actively watching it. Because it was already on her For You page.
I saw a text come through that was a link to a TikTok, and I was like, but I know I'm already watching this. This is the one
and
I'm watching.
she was.
That's pretty amazing.
It's a really big day. So Lucy and Ashley, my sister, hi, shout out, and I are going to be on Zoom watching it live together. And then we can talk about it during the commercials. And we have a house guest tonight, and I am making sure that I am upstairs locked in my tower with my TV in my bed with my snacks.
So Bill has a house guest tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're out.
She's like,
Well, it
no,
was-
Bill's not even home.
It was always Bill's house guest. I mean, I love Eric. Hi, Eric. But like, I'll hang out with you.
Bleeder Blaze.
No, I would consider
Hanging
hanging out.
I'll
hang out with Eric. I don't think I would even pick Bleeder over the Vanderpump Rules finale. I really don't think I would. I don't think I'd pick my own family.
No.
Anyway, so it's a big
Wow.
day. It's a big day.
It's a big day.
Well, I'm sure I'll hear all about it.
You fucking will, bitch.
on.
Shall we?
We have
I guess.
a very special, this is a gal's pick, right?
Yes.
Yep.
We have a very special gal's pick this week brought to you by us.
Yup.
And we have selected a Beyond Stupid episode for all of you. I feel like we've had some heavy ones recently. And
Well, absolutely
Skateboarding
true.
crimes.
Yeah,
I mean, that was
Peep
kind
Show
of
was
Weirdly
pretty dark.
heavy, weirdly dark.
Yeah, skateboarding was really dark.
You guys pick these really fun topics and then send us
The most
cases.
devastating stories of all time.
Y'all
And
are-
you're just like, it's fine. They have talk space. They can
Yeah.
cope.
Then you blame us for
years.
going to the dark side when 99% of the time it's y'all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Today
so,
it's me. Hi,
yeah.
I'm the problem.
I'm the problem. It's me.
so we chose a Beyond Stupid and we chose the topic of what are the chances? So just like a little bit of fun irony.
This topic is a balm for my soul right now because, as the world knows, I am wedding planning.
Mm-hmm.
And my invitations went out this week. And
wasn't sure if you were gonna bring this up.
somebody was, and I will not name names or relations because
Her name was Guest.
I have a modicum of class. And we use Zola for address collection. And so our guests were responsible. We sent them the link and then they would put in their name. And if they had a +1, then their spouse or their +1's name. And then that populates what's printed on the envelope. And if they did not include the details for their guest, it auto-populates and guest on the envelope. And I got rage texted because someone was very offended that they would be addressed and guest on an envelope you're going to throw away.
Yeah, it's the envelope.
Yeah, not even on the well, I guess their name isn't on the invite. It's only on the envelope,
It's
isn't it?
only on the envelope.
Right.
It was the screenshots were shared with friends. And it was rage text. It was absolutely over the top, completely absurd. And
We got screenshots. It was bonks.
and I
Sloppy bananas.
lost my shit. I sent so many rageful voice memos to Kenyon and Lucy in our chat. It was the wrong fucking day.
It was
to
very
fucking
cathartic.
reach
'cause
out
then
to
we
me
got
like
to
that.
all just rant about
Oh.
the shit that we endured while wedding planning.
Yeah. So I just can't really think of anything more beyond stupid than something so fucking petty and inconsequential as what name is on an envelope that you will throw in the garbage. Who
Also-
fucking cares? Get a real fucking problem.
Let's
There, I
maybe
said it.
just, give folks the benefit of the doubt every once in a while.
Yeah, because
Especially
frankly,
when they're
it was
wedding planning.
their fault that this person's name was not on the envelope. Not my fault, yo.
Uh-uh.
I have so many guests.
I didn't even tell you this yesterday when we were rage texting,
Oh,
but
no. Am I gonna spit?
we had place cards. We had a pretty small wedding. We had 65 people.
I'm not even fucking doing place cards
No.
because if envelopes got this kind of ruckus,
yeah, well,
no
don't.
one's getting names.
Well, one of your family members might decide the morning of that you do, in fact, need assigned seats, because that's what happened to me.
They get assigned tables, and where they sit at that table is up to them.
Oh,
I don't
that's
give a
fine.
fuck.
Great.
Okay, well, we had place cards because it was only 65 people, and we hired someone to do the calligraphy,
them.
and
Yeah,
make
they were
them.
gorgeous.
They were very pretty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the guests is Zach's friend, and Zach's friend had a girlfriend who I had never met, but she was invited. And the only thing I knew about her was that she was Italian. And I asked Zach her name, and he said Francesca. And that is what was calligraphied
On the card.
on her place card.
What was her name?
Her name was Veronica or something. It was like not. Now I can't remember. I'm like Valentina.
See, I find this
Her
kind
name
of
was
shit,
Valentina, and
that's
he was like
gorgeous name.
Francesca.
I find this kind of
Italian.
shit funny. It's not malicious. It's an oopsie. Things
Yeah.
fucking happen. Did she
Yeah.
freak the fuck out?
No, I caught it
Okay,
in
good.
time because like they came to the rehearsal dinner and I was like, "Hi, so nice to meet you, Valentina."
Mental note. Mental jabbing Zach in the ribs like, you fucking idiot.
He's such
Can't believe you did this.
And I had Scott get like a card that was like
Yes.
similar paper stock and calligraphy to his whatever her real
Because
name
Scott
and
is
replaced it.
absolutely the artistic genius of our friend group.
Oh, yeah,
And like of
he nailed
most
it.
friend groups. But yeah.
Yeah. So
That's-
anyway,
It's
whatever.
It's hard
fuck
out
it.
here, y'all. So
I called someone the wrong name to their face last week.
I called someone the wrong name to their face at their own wedding.
Okay,
I went to-
Were you a bridesmaid?
No, thank God. I went to a friend's
Were you
wedding.
officiating?
Someone, no, I was not officiating. This was a long time ago. Someone that we went to high school with, and I will give you their name off air because I don't even want to fake their name because it's so. You're gonna.
Obvious.
It's so obvious.
Obvious.
And what I did was so egregious, you guys. Okay, it was so egregious. We've since laughed about it, and also like. Whatever, this person may not even remember that this happened. Like, your wedding day is so chaotic
Yeah.
that like I probably agonized over this forever, but like they probably thought it was pretty I mean, I know at least the bride thought it was funny, but anyway.
I blacked out for my whole like I don't remember.
Yeah.
It happened
You were
so
gowned.
fast.
Not only did I call the groom by the
It
wrong
wasn't even the
name,
alcohol. It was just the stress.
Yeah.
the name that I called the groom
was her
was
ex.
the bride's ex's name.
Yeah.
And I said it twice. I was hammered and
Oh, no.
deeply confused, obviously. So, like, to the disgruntled guest on my list, could be worse. I've done worse.
Yeah.
Call
By
her
accident.
his ex's name all night at your wedding. She can't start shit at your wedding.
Oh, she could try. I have a whole group of people ready with with like headshots of who to be on top of at my wedding day. There's you fucked with the wrong one, honey. You fucked with the wrong one.
Anyway, okay, back to Beyond Stupid. And another thing.
You know what?
About
We're
wedding.
scrapping this entire episode. This is the episode now. People would probably like it.
Beyond
You people
stupid,
are,
us at weddings.
Yeah. Beyond
Yeah.
Stupid, the Amanda Jacobson story.
All right.
Everything in my life right now.
What is our wine crime pairing for Beyond Stupid? What are the chances?
Guys, we started at fucking 10 a.m. I'm not drinking, so everyone just get over it.
I had an espresso. I had 2 glasses of wine last night, and I was
For my drunk time.
asleep at 9:30 p.m. and I'm
over.
hung over. What moms out
What
there?
are the chances?
Is this just my life now? Like, am I capped at 2 glasses of wine?
You'll get it back
forever now?
up there.
Yeah, you just got to practice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. But I wanted to shout out the morning breakfast beverage that I am having right now because I am someone.
Delish.
It's really okay. Can you like see the color of it?
It's like
Don't
caramely.
spill on your computer.
I won't spell on my computer. But okay, so it looks and tastes like coffee, but it's tea. And it's roasted tea. So it like has a more robust flavor like coffee. The absolute angel on earth, my beautiful, lovely mother-in-law, Sue Hoban, gave me some tea the other day when we were hanging out with her for Mother's Day because she like loves the idea of coffee, but similarly to me, we have delicate tummies. And so like coffee right away in the morning can really mess up our stomach. So this is, I'm not really probably going to pronounce this right. Teeccino, like a play on cappuccino, but it's T-E-E, not T-E-A. And this is their roasted herbal tea. So it's actually caffeine free because I woke up with a lot of energy. So I did not need to throw caffeine into this whole situation. And I added a little bit of almond milk to it. And this is hazelnut. And it is so good. It literally smells and tastes like coffee. So it's buttery hazelnuts enriched by golden roasted almonds against dark roasted hickory roots,
Oh,
slightly
I love
sweetened,
hickory.
slightly sweetened by dates and figs. It's fucking
Wow.
delicious. So check them out. That's what
Cool.
I'm sipping.
Where did
What's
Pretty Sue get them from?
she
Trader Joe's? Or?
She's not a TJ's girl, but she is like a Whole Foods girl and also just a like co-op person in general. So I would have to imagine that you can find it at like Whole Foods, but give it a goog. Teeccino, Teeccino roasted tea. This might be my new obsession.
I'm going to try it because I, too,
really fucking
cannot
good.
handle coffee at any time of day.
This is like, it's,
I just deal with the consequences.
yeah, this is hitting like coffee and I love it. And yes, we know, we travel with you. I love it.
You sound
to go.
like this until
Oh my
you
God,
get your
I have to
coffee.
go. Either your house is on fire or you are currently shitting.
There's a wasp in your room.
The wasp.
It's not
Anyway,
easy being me. Cheers! I did not wake up like this.
I'm going to toast my granola bar. Cheers.
Cheers. All right, Lucy, what is our background and maybe psych for Beyond Stupid? What are the chances?
Well, joke's on you people thinking you got a balm of like lighthearted, beyond stupid stuff today because I decided to do a case of something that I heard of a few months ago, which is definitely what are the chances. And then when I started getting into it yesterday, I was like, wow, this is
intense
some
shit.
dark
Were you the
shit.
one who texted the chat like, I'm going to need more time because my case is not what I thought it was?
Yes,
Correct.
that was you.
That was me.
When I first read it, I went, God damn it, Kenyon. And then I reread and I was like, oh my God, what is happening? Parallel universe.
I'm doing a case today.
I love when you do a case. It's very strange. It's like seeing a teacher outside of their school.
Yeah.
Like
You're the
running
biology
into
teacher using the metal
Yeah.
detector to pick up coins around the parking meters at the beach.
running into your gyno at Target.
That's my aesthetic.
That is your aesthetic.
I love it.
Mhm.
My friend Shad, who's probably listening. Hi, Shad.
Hi, Shad. See you at the wedding.
He makes fun of me for only wearing shapeless things. And the last time I got that dress that I wore to brunch in Las Vegas, that cute little chambray thing, Ben said I looked like an art teacher.
I mean, yeah,
You do.
cool art teacher.
He calls it my frock.
yeah.
You've always looked like a cool art teacher.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like a sort
that's
of
been
like
your-
acerbic. Yeah.
Shape.
That's
Bliss.
been your aesthetic since like 2009. Up until then, it was always a very similar cut pair of jeans with like a tiny flare, like a bootleg cut almost.
I loved a bootleg.
And some kind of either vintage or like bold t-shirt.
T-shirt.
That was
A graphic
your
tee.
a graphic tee. That was your uniform for years. And
You're
then
not
you
wrong.
like graduated high school and started working in publishing or whatever, like working in a magazine, and you were like, this is the change. Frocks.
Art teacher.
Frocks out for Jesus. Let's go. And I loved every moment of it.
I'm a real frockist. I love a
You
frock.
are.
Okay, here we go. Apologies in advance. On the night of Wednesday, January 6th, 1982,
Oh God, a cursed day.
82.
Yeah, but still.
29-year-old Bobby Jo Oberholzer met some of her friends and coworkers at a local bar called the Village Pub in Breckenridge, Colorado.
Bobby Joe.
Bobby Jo, sweet Bobby Jo. She had called her husband around 6 p.m. to let him know that she would be out celebrating a recent job promotion. Good for you, Bobby Jo.
Get it, Bobby Joe.
They had some drinks together while heavy snow fell outside. I editorialized a lot of this.
I love it.
Bobby Jo was later...
Wait, was it snowing or it's just
It was
Breckenridge,
the middle
Colorado
of
in
summer.
January, so you
no,
took
it
a
was
gander.
super snowing.
Okay.
January
Yeah.
6th.
Heavy snow.
Okay.
Bobby Jo was later described by her sister Lori. It's never, you know what happens to Bobby Jo.
Oh God.
As a free spirit and a very happy young woman, kind of a hippie.
Her smile lit up a room.
Yeah. She was married to a fellow hippie type named Jeff. They were both from Racine, Wisconsin, and after they married in 1977, they moved to Alma, Colorado, and this is about a half hour south of Breckenridge. So she worked in Breckenridge. She lived in Alma with her husband.
Beautiful part of the state.
Oh, yeah. Just
it's
gorgeous.
It's like in the mountains. It's near Winter Park. It's all of the mountainous, like
Skiing
southwest
and
of
snowboarding.
like west of Denver stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeff ran an appliance repair business and Bobby Joe worked as a receptionist for a real estate company in Breckenridge. I found conflicting reports on whether or not they had a daughter.
Okay.
I don't think they did, but they might have.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe.
Also, you're pronouncing Babby Joe wrong.
Babby.
Babby Joe.
You're saying Bobby Joe, and it's Babby Joe.
Well, she's
Babby Joe.
she's from Colorado.
But we're not.
Well, she's from Racine.
She's
You're
from
right.
Racine, Wisconsin.
Babby
It's
Joe.
Babby Joe.
It's Babby Joe. You're right. So on this evening, after a while hanging with her friends at the village pub, Babby Joe left the bar around 8 p.m., telling them that she planned on hitchhiking home, which was a regular occurrence.
Oh, Babby, no.
Babby, no.
When
Babby
she-
Joe.
When she failed to come home by midnight, so Jeff had like made dinner. She wasn't there yet. He went to bed. He woke up at midnight. She still wasn't there.
Jeff.
So at midnight, he drove to the home of one of the friends she had been celebrating with, and the friend told Jeff that they had no idea where she was. They were like, she left at like 8.
Hours ago.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
like left early. She should be home. Oh, no.
Yeah. He
Oh, God.
immediately went to the Breckenridge Police Department to file a missing person report, but was told that it was too soon to file a report.
Oh, for God's sake.
So poor Jeff headed back home to Alma alone.
Oh, no.
That same evening, another young woman named Annette Schnee was wrapping up her workday around the same time. There are photos of both of these ladies on the drive. They are so pretty.
Okay.
There's also one of the pictures, I think it's of Annette, is with, it's like a portrait of her with her dog. I'm in the completely wrong folder.
I feel like
Oh, my God. I
have
love it.
learned about this case before. Like this, yeah.
Oh, no, it's Babby Joe with her dog.
Oh,
She's just
my
so
God.
cute.
Oh my gosh, look at them. Look at Annette.
The feathered hair.
Oh, she is rocking that Farrah Fawcett hair.
Oh, my God.
They're both so cute and young and vibrant.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that dog.
That's the swiliest, happiest dog and his little eyebrows.
He looks so
Little head
sweet.
cocked.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
So 21-year-old Annette worked at a nearby Holiday Inn during the day and worked as a part-time server, cocktail waitress at a bar called The Flip Side in the evenings.
Cute.
That day, she had a doctor's appointment in the afternoon and was planning on heading home after her doctor's appointment. Annette was last seen leaving a Breckenridge pharmacy at around 4:30 p.m. People who knew her assumed that she was also going to hitchhike home, as she very often did. But this time, she vanished.
Oh my God.
No,
Okay.
so we've got 2 missing women
from the same
on
day.
the same day in the same town.
Breckenridge at this
Oh, fuck.
time, as it is today, was a very popular mountain ski resort town with lots of tourist money. So it was a small town with a very small population of permanent residents. So that
Right.
there were only about 1,200 people who lived there.
Yeah, but then the population would boom during ski season.
Yeah, there were just lots of tourists. But the people who lived there all knew each other. This was also in the early 80s. So as we know, hitchhiking was a common way of getting around. My dad hitchhiked to and from college every day.
Yeah, my grandpa and his like nephew or his cousin, but they were like basically the same age, once hitchhiked like all the way from Michigan to like Pennsylvania, like for funsies.
Yeah.
And like
it was
no
like a
one
thing.
knew where they were. It was shocking.
Yeah.
I know I'm misremembering that, and my mom is probably screaming, but it was something along those lines. It was completely insane.
Oh,
Yeah, it just
don't.
was.
Little babies listening to this, please don't. Just don't. It's
Yep.
not, you can't do it anymore.
It's not worth it, even though it's statistically not as dangerous as the scare makes you seem it is. It's just dangerous enough.
Yeah.
Well, you just don't need to anymore.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
Get an Uber. It's basically hitchhiking.
Right.
Okay, so as I said, these women should have had no reason to be afraid. They hitchhiked all the time. They knew the people in the town, blah, blah, blah.
They weren't going far.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Bobby Joe was going about a half hour away. I'm not really sure where Annette lived, but it wasn't terribly far away. So according to Jeff, Bobby Joe's husband, quote, everybody hitchhiked. You got to know people in the town. They got to know you, and they'd look for you to take you over and back if you needed a ride.
That makes perfect sense to me. That's like community, neighbors who know each other.
Right. Yeah.
That feels different to me than rando on the side of the road.
Correct.
Not like neighbors looking out for each other.
Yeah, this is like flagging down a neighbor.
Correct.
Yeah, like I've driven my rando neighbor places because they were like locked out of their house or whatever.
And the way those towns are, like they're very separate because of the mountains.
Exactly.
But people, got from one to another for work or whatever all the time. So as I said, it was a very snowy evening that quickly turned to blizzard conditions with bitterly cold temperatures reaching 20 below zero Fahrenheit.
The worst.
And the cops don't want to go out and look for these fucking women.
I mean, it was too soon to file a missing person report for Bobby Joe, but we'll get to it. The weather was so bad, in fact, that another event that night made national headlines. So this is so fucking weird. A local sheriff was in an airplane. It was like a United commercial flight. He was flying to San Francisco. He just happened to be the sheriff. He happened to be looking out the window as they flew over Guanella Pass, which was in that area, when he saw a flashing light blinking the SOS Morse code.
What?
No way.
So he quickly alerted the captain of the plane, and the captain called the
ground support or
city
whatever
they were flying over. And soon a ground rescue crew made their way up to the 10,000-foot mountain pass in sub-zero temperatures to rescue a local miner/car mechanic named Alan Lee Phillips, whose car had become stuck in the snow.
No way, dude.
His pickup was, the back tires were stuck, so the front of the truck was kind of pointing up.
Yep. And couldn't get any traction.
And he was using his headlights to flash SOS, and that's why it was pointing up. That's why they could see it from the fucking airplane.
That's insane.
Shook. What are the chances?
So he used his truck's headlights to blink SOS in a last-ditch effort to save his own life, and this fucking sheriff just so happened to see him.
That's wild.
And recognize the Morse code and tell the captain. Fucking crazy.
I'm surprised
That's
the captain
so cool.
was even like, okay, I'll do something about this. And
I
not
think
just
if it weren't
sit down,
like-
sir.
If it
Because
weren't
he's a
a
sheriff.
Yeah.
it would have been different.
Right.
Would be my guess.
So a guy named Dave Montoya was the fire chief at the time, and he was the first one of the ground rescue crew to reach Phillips. And in fact, those two men knew each other from working in the mines together. So
Wow.
Dave gets to Phillips and was like, oh,
He's like,
the
hey,
fuck,
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing? What the fuck are you doing out here?
So Montoya says,
Jesus
quote,
Christ.
sure as heck, there he was in his little pickup, and he saw me and said, oh God, I'm saved.
Oh.
He said he got drunk and decided to drive home, and the
Sir.
reason why he went that route over the mountains was to avoid the highways because he was drunk and didn't want to get pulled over.
Oh, for God's
in a fucking
sakes.
blizzard. So I'm too wasted to drive on the highway. So I'm going to drive up a mountain pass
A
in
tiny
a blizzard
mountain road in a blizzard
in
instead.
my truck from the 80s.
Yep.
Oh, no. Oh, that's beyond stupid.
Continuing this quote from Montoya. And I said, you came up over the pass? And he said, well, it seemed like a good idea. I thought, how in the heck did this guy get so lucky for all the stuff to fall into place? Montoya said he noticed a large, fresh bruise on Phillips's face, which he said the then 30-year-old. So Montoya said that Phillips said he got the bruise when he left his truck to go pee in the snow and then ran into his truck because the blizzard made it zero visibility.
No, he did something to one of these girls. I'm telling you right now.
Or both.
So the next morning, after the blizzard had subsided at about 7:45 a.m., Jeff Oberholzer, so Bobby Joe's husband, got a phone call from a rancher who had found Bobby Joe's driver's license and the contents of her wallet blowing around on his property.
Oh my God.
So something with her home phone number, he called the number.
Don't love that.
So Jeff and some of his friends went to this ranch to look for Bobby Joe. As Jeff pulled up, he spotted a blue backpack in the snow. He got out of his vehicle and found Bobby Joe's, that was her backpack. He also found her glove covered in blood.
No.
And also a bloody tissue lay nearby, but Bobby Joe was nowhere to be found.
Oh my God.
But it was too soon to
Where
file a
was-
missing persons
Where was
report.
this
At
ranch
that
in
point-
relation to everything?
So I couldn't find a map of where all of this stuff took place, but I'll kind of get to it in this next part.
Okay.
At about 3 p.m., after the police had been called again by Jeff, who's like, "Hey, assholes, has it been long enough? I found like some of her shit. Something happened."
And blood.
And it's bloody. Yeah, something's off.
So at about 3 p.m., after the police had been called again, they began searching Hoosier Pass, which is about 20 miles from where they found her purse. So they found her purse. They're like, why the fuck is it way over here? Let's trace where she would have gone from Breckenridge to home.
Yeah, and if it's not on the route, then why was she taken so far off her route?
Yep. So they go to Hoosier Pass, and there are photos on the drive, which will be on the blog, of Hoosier Pass. It's a beautiful.
Is there a map?
No, there's like a scenic overlook.
Oh, it is gorgeous.
So Hoosier Pass is about 20 miles from where they found her purse. And like I said, Hoosier was on the route that Bobby Joe would have taken home. Bobby Joe's body was found on the side of a snowbank just 20 feet off of Highway 9, right by the parking lot of this scenic overlook at Hoosier Pass.
Oh my God.
And this is just 10 miles outside of Breckenridge. So whoever did it made like a weird triangle, potentially. Bobby Joe was fully clothed with a zip tie around her left hand. She had been shot twice in the chest at close range and just like left to bleed out.
Oh my God.
In the Overlook parking lot, this is going to break your heart. In the Overlook parking lot, they found her keys that were on a heavy brass key ring that had a hook, like kind of a carabiner, but like a big, heavy hook on it.
I have one of those on my keys.
That Jeff had made for Bobby Joe to carry with her in case she ever had to defend herself.
Oh my God.
Is that what caused the bruise?
We'll get to it. Authorities also found another piece of evidence, an orange booty sock. So like a short, thick.
A no-show.
It's kind of like
bright, like a super show, no show.
An orange no-show,
Well,
super show.
it would be like an extra sock you put over your regular socks in your snow boots.
Right. To thicken your foot. Make your boot fit snug and keep your feet warm.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they found this orange sock, but the sock did not belong to Bobby Joe. So police were baffled. They were able to confirm the keys were hers, but the sock was a mystery.
Okay.
And Natch, Jeff, became their number one suspect.
Oh my God, this poor man who's just been trying to get someone to look for his wife.
Yep.
The next day, on January 8th, so this is 2 days after the women disappeared, when Annette failed to show up for work for the second day in a row, a concerned Holiday Inn coworker called Annette's mother back in beautiful Sioux City, Iowa. So that's where Annette was from. So she had moved from Sioux City to Colorado like not that long before, like a year before or something. Annette's older sister, Karen, immediately went to Breckenridge to try to find her sister. Quote, knowing she hitchhiked, we figured somebody picked her up. Yeah, you do keep that hope, but in the back of your mind, you're probably thinking not, but you don't want to think that.
Oh, no.
6 months later, on July 3rd, 1982, a little boy who was fishing in a stream discovered Annette's body.
Oh, that poor little boy.
She was found 13 miles away from where she disappeared in Sacramento Creek near Highway 9, so on the same highway.
Damn.
So Bobby Joe was found 10 miles from Breckenridge on Highway 9. Annette was discovered about 13 miles away, right off of Highway 9. She was lying face down in the stream and had also been shot. They had both been shot with a medium caliber gun. She'd been shot once in the back. And the angle of the bullet hole suggested that she had either been kneeling or running away downhill when she was shot.
Oh, I just got chills. Oh.
She was fully clothed, but the zipper on her jeans was broken and her shoes were on the wrong feet, leading cops to think that she had been sexually assaulted prior to her death, and either she tried to dress herself or she was dressed. To the investigators' dismay, Annette was wearing one orange booty sock.
No!
So clearly these
and
two
these
murders...
socks belonged to her, or they didn't belong to her either?
They belonged to Annette. They were Annette's
socks.
but
one ended up on Bobby Joe.
Because
one ended up near Bobby Joe.
So he killed Annette before he killed Bobby Joe, probably.
So clearly
left her sock. Oh my God.
Clearly these two murders were related. Investigators believed, so this is their theory, that around 4:30 p.m., Annette left the pharmacy to hitchhike home. The killer picked her up and drove 20 miles south of Breckenridge. He took Annette down a short dead-end road and sexually assaulted her. This is a quote from the sheriff. So remember how I said the booty sock goes over your regular socks? This part isn't totally clear, but it has something to do with that. So the sheriff says, quote, while she was getting dressed, she apparently found one of her long socks, put it on, and couldn't find the second long sock. So she then put an orange booty on the other foot and then put her boots on.
That makes sense.
So she's missing an orange sock at this point.
Yeah.
She apparently escaped and then while running away was shot in the back. I think because she was found in a stream, that the stream was like down in a ditch. So she was probably running down the ditch towards the stream.
That's to like follow the stream to town or something. Yeah.
Or just running away. And so that's why the bullet hole.
It's easier to run downhill than uphill.
That's why the bullet hole looked like it was coming from above.
Oh my God.
Oh, I keep fucking getting chills through my whole body. That's so awful.
So Annette,
there's like no worse feeling or thought than running away from someone who is trying to kill you. Like it's just so inherently terrifying. In January,
in the mountains.
Yeah, like you're running toward one death to try and get away from another one. Yeah,
in a blizzard.
Ugh. Yeah. No, thank you.
So Annette left her other orange sock in the killer's vehicle where it remained until Bobby Joe was abducted back in Breckenridge again. So the killer drove back to Breckenridge, abducted Bobby Joe. Then the killer drove Bobby 10 miles south of Breckenridge to a scenic overlook where he apparently attempted to rape her. When Bobby Joe escaped from the vehicle, the booty fell out of the car.
So that was totally random. What are the chances?
That was Annette being like, oh, hell
bitch. No. Yeah.
Yep.
I will fuck you up. The killer
then chased Bobby Joe down the road and shot her twice as she turned away. They also found a business card in Annette's jacket with the name Jeff Oberholzer.
Oh no, Jeff.
Oh shit.
Jeff told the police that he recalled giving... At first he said, no, I don't know that woman, and Bobby Joe doesn't know that woman. There was no connection between the women.
Uh-huh.
But Jeff at first said, no, I don't know her. But then Jeff later told the police that he recalled giving Annette a ride in November 1981, and that he gave business cards to everyone. He's an appliance repair. He owns his own business. He gives his cards to everyone.
Oh, shit.
And everyone hitchhikes.
Oh, it's not looking good for Jeff.
So that only strengthened investigators' suspicions that Jeff was responsible for the deaths of both of the women.
No, Jeff, no. It's not you.
Jeff denied involvement in either murder, saying, quote, I can only say that I didn't do anything. As a matter of fact, we had just planned several days before that it was time for us to have children. I miss my wife. I did not kill her.
Oh, my God.
However, the cops weren't able to verify the alibi that he gave to them. He told them that he was visiting a friend. And for some reason, the timeline that the friend gave didn't match up with the timeline that Jeff gave. So the police couldn't verify that.
Oh,
So they thought
poor
his
Jeff.
they thought his alibi was bullshit.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jeff can't get a break.
So that and the business card made him real suspicious. However, Jeff passed 2 polygraph tests, and the blood on the tissue and the glove at Bobby Joe's crime scene did not match Jeff's blood type.
And
So-
it
Okay,
wasn't
Jeff.
her blood?
No.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
that's good. That's good for Jeff.
At the time, they could the DNA technology could identify blood types, but not like
Right.
specific like mitochondrial whatever.
Right.
But soon after the blood type was tested, that DNA technology made another advancement so that they could see that
They
it
retested
wasn't
it.
like a specific individual's blood, and they could conclusively verify that the DNA was not a match to Jeff.
Thank
Thank
God they
God.
didn't happen to have the same blood group.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
And so the case went cold for decades.
No.
This was like the biggest unsolved case in Breckenridge history for like a long time.
I wonder if the
Wow.
public was made aware of the business card thing and if like,
Jeff's poor life
yeah,
Yeah.
was fucking ruined.
Yeah.
shit.
He there was another quote from him that was like, I know that I didn't do it. The police can't prove that I did it, but I am guilty in the court of public opinion, and that is just as bad.
Oh my
Oh.
God.
So his wife
Jeff's
is fucking dead.
His wife's dead. His life is ruined. He's ostracized from this small community that he's been living in for God knows how long.
And he did nothing.
And he did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
Finally, so this happened in 1982. Finally, in early 2020,
No.
Park County Detective Sergeant Wendy Kipple heard about something called genetic genealogy. Ever heard of it?
Who knew?
In which specially trained genealogists upload a DNA sample from a crime scene through publicly available DNA databases, as we know.
Get your paw holes on.
Mm-hmm. She submitted the DNA found on the glove and the tissue from Bobby Joe's crime scene to a Denver genealogy company called United Data Connect on January 9th, 2021, almost exactly
Yeah.
39 years after the murders.
Holy shit.
39 years.
So they were
That's
killed
so
on January
long.
6th, and she got this call on January 9th.
Oh my God.
She got a call from this database place that said that you have 2 matches, and these matches are that of brothers who are estranged.
Mm-hmm.
But only one of those brothers had ever lived in Colorado, and that guy was still living there about an hour away from Breckenridge.
Oh, weird.
Guess who that man was?
Fucking coal miner douche drunk prick.
Alan
Bruised
Lee
face.
Phillips.
Fucking Alan. It's always a fucking
Or
Alan.
guy.
Lee. Middle name
Or
Lee.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they always say the middle name of a notorious
Yeah, but
killer, but
still.
yeah. So it's the guy they rescued from the mountain back in 1962.
Ugh.
According to his records, Alan had been married 3 times and had 2 stepsons and a daughter. His criminal history revealed that he had been arrested in 1973, so 9 years before these abductions, for assault and burglary. So at that time, he was 22 years old, and he had admitted to picking up a woman who was hitchhiking in Breckenridge,
No.
driving her to a remote area near an empty cabin, hitting her in the head multiple times with a rock, and assaulting her before she convinced him to let her go.
So this was his MO.
Yeah. Think
God
about
only knows how
times-
many.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So she got
God.
away and reported him, and he served 6 months in jail.
I
Oh,
don't
of course.
get it.
That's such a violent fucking crime. He's fucking white. He's a white man. Ugh.
There are
Just
pictures of
don't
him on
get
the
it.
drive,
Like,
too.
as
He
a
just looks so
society,
pathetic.
Even in a patriarchal society, wouldn't the other men not want this to happen to their women?
Right.
Like,
I don't get
get it. Like, put these fucking people away and throw away the key, and then don't give a shit about fucking weed.
Yeah.
I don't-
Exactly.
There are a
Get
lot
it.
of, and I don't like to I don't like to advocate for long prison sentences in general.
I do for
but
this. When someone's an actual predator,
it's just, yeah.
if you pick
It's
up a
fucked up.
hitchhiker, drive them to a remote location, rape them, and then attempt to murder them, I'm sorry.
You're gonna do it again.
You're gonna do it again. You're a threat to society. You don't deserve to be out.
Yeah.
I don't know that we can reform that.
So, police began surveillance on Phillips right away. They quickly found that he was super careful and somehow managed
He knew
to
exactly what he was doing.
he managed to never throw anything away, including the trash from his home.
What?
Like they couldn't catch him disposing of anything in public.
Is he just like a
Wow.
hoarder, or he had his own like trash dump on his property or something?
I do not know how he did that,
Ugh,
but
imagine the smell.
he must have maybe
Men are foul.
maybe he burned it on his own property.
He probably did if he lived in like a remote fucking
But they couldn't
Woods.
but they couldn't get
something that he discarded.
Yeah.
Yep.
So after 5 weeks
They would not have that problem with me, let me tell you.
No.
Be like, this bitch never leaves the house without 3 beverages.
Yeah.
Her lipstick is on
Everything.
Hair. Amanda's
Yeah.
blue hair.
Oh my god. I leave a trail of evidence but from my bedroom to my bathroom every day.
We know Kenyon was wearing this. It's covered in breast milk stains.
Yuck. They'd get my cat's DNA anywhere
Real
I
quick.
went.
Yeah.
Roll quick.
Okay, so after 5 weeks of following him, he finally went to a Sonic drive-thru. Gross. However, he didn't throw his trash away at the Sonic. So he ate his food. He presumably pulled up. They brought his food out. He ate in his car. Instead of throwing it away at the Sonic, he drove to a local post office, went inside the post office, and threw his Sonic bag away there.
Weird. Okay.
So the cops got it. I have a photo of the Sonic bag in the trash can at the post office.
I was wondering what that was.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was my favorite picture.
It's nice.
So they got it. They got a sample of his saliva and they fucking matched it to the DNA from Bobby Joe's crime scene. And he was arrested at his home in February of 2021.
Oh
Finally.
my God.
Jesus.
During his
Christ.
trial, it was theorized that the bruise on Phillips's face was from Bobby Joe nailing him with that brass key ring that Jeff had
Good
made
for you,
her.
Bobby Joe.
And
Way to go.
There must have also been some sort of intense struggle where the blood on the glove and the tissue were, like
Yeah.
she
Maybe
fucked
she
him
got
up.
him in the teeth or something.
Well, they would have. I mean, they
wasn't
they
like they
interacted
brought-
with him later that night.
Yeah, but they didn't bring him in. They didn't
Yeah.
photograph him. Like he could have been bleeding from who knows where.
I think they would have noticed because Dave Montoya gave him a ride back to his trailer.
So maybe it wasn't face. Maybe it was somewhere else on his body that he was bleeding from. And
he might have just gotten a bloody nose.
yeah, I'm ordering a fucking brass
It's good.
keyring right now.
So a jury convicted him of 8 counts, including first-degree murder after deliberation and first-degree murder, including felony kidnapping and robbery.
Good. Bye-bye, bitch.
On November 7th, 2022, he was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. And for better or worse, he died in prison just a couple of months ago in March of 2023 at the age of 72. So he was only in prison for like 5 months.
Oh my God. Alan is a liar.
So
Fuck Alan.
District Attorney Linda Stanley says, quote, Bobby Joe was a fighter and is a hero. She fought back, and because of that, we were able to get DNA evidence to convict Annette and Bobby Joe's killer after all this time.
Annette was also a fighter. I mean, Annette ran, like Annette.
They were both fighters. Yeah, they were both
Annette's
fighters.
ghost sent the
The
sock.
sock.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sock tied them both together. The DNA tied him to it. It was just, and the odds of him getting rescued off the mountain
From the airplane
observe the
signaling.
bruise.
Yep.
And put him in that place at that time.
There's there's a newspaper clipping of that
This is one
event.
of the
like-
wildest cases ever.
Yeah,
Isn't
this feels like ew. What's that fucking movie? with Harrison Ford and fucking Michelle
6
Pfeiffer.
days, 7 nights. Oh.
No. We love this movie. That horror movie.
Well, What Lies Beneath.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where like a ghost is leaving clues.
She's
Yep.
starting to suspect something.
Yeah. Who you with?
Yeah.
I'm like, these two beautiful blondes fucking conspiring against Harrison Ford
Yep.
to put him in his fucking place, the bottom of a lake.
Anyway, so I had to cover this
I
case.
can't.
It's so fucking.
Yeah, that is.
And look at the picture of his arrest. Look at his stupid ass fucking face. Like, whoa,
He's
me?
so gross.
Yeah.
Me, all I
just
did
an
was
old
assault
perv.
and try to murder multiple women.
Yeah.
I wonder how many other victims he has out there.
There's no way that these were the only three.
People
There's no way.
disappear in that.
All
Two
the
in
time.
one night.
2 in one night. There's no way. And if at least
And he was
if other
drunk
people,
and sloppy that night.
yeah, at least if other women weren't killed, he's
were-
absolutely
They were
assaulted.
attacked, yeah.
Yes, other women.
Yeah.
There's no way he has. There's a fucking fly in here. There's no way he hasn't done this multiple times before. The one that he served 6 months in jail for was like not. It was far enough apart
It was
from
9 years
these
apart.
two. Yeah, that like other stuff happened in
He
those
probably
9
has
years.
dozens of victims over the years. From
And,
1973 to 2020.
20.
Picking
yeah.
up a woman in Breckenridge, driving her somewhere and assaulting her violently. You don't just do that a couple
No.
of times. It's so specific.
No.
Yeah.
God.
Oh my god.
Well,
And
I
if-
thought this was going to be a lighthearted.
I know.
Mine
At the
is-
top, you guys were like, "We've earned something silly and light." I'm like, "Ugh, whoops."
But what are the chances?
And then Lucy's like, hold my beer.
I like
case
doing
is-
a case every once in a while.
That
Yeah.
case is unbelievable. I'm so glad you covered
Yeah.
that. I'd never heard of this.
Yeah. Cool.
Holy shit.
Absolutely nuts. Well done.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, I have 2 shorties
I
for
love it.
us. One is purely lighthearted and one is purely
Sketch.
stupid.
Okay, great.
Okay. So, first one, purely lighthearted, I think. Okay. In the early morning hours of March 23rd, 2023,
Oh
So
my
real
god.
recent.
This just happened. Okay.
2 teenagers, and this story could only be about teenagers,
Okay.
stole a car in Jeffersonville, Indiana, which
Got
is very close to Louisville. It's just across the river. Okay.
Mhm.
They were joyriding in the area, driving over 90 miles per hour when they were spotted at 1:45 in the morning by Indiana State Police. The cops attempted to pull over the vehicle, but instead of stopping, the teens led police on a high-speed chase across
God's
state
sakes.
lines
Oh God.
No, guys.
along
no.
the Clarkson Bridge into downtown Louisville, Kentucky.
We've crossed
no.
that bridge.
Oh yeah.
Moments later, the kids lost control of the car and crashed into the Courtyard Marriott Hotel on
You
South
don't say.
2nd Street and West Main Street.
We've like driven by that Marriott.
Yeah. This is like our route.
Yeah.
Is this us?
When we
Is
visited
this fucking
on
Play
our
About
merch
Us?
trip. That truck. This is fucking Play About Us. That truck we drove to fucking deliver merch could
Yeah.
not go over 70 miles an hour. So no, this was
Amanda
not
was
us.
steaming out of her ears the whole time.
It was rough. Pedal to the metal, you'd get to maybe 69 in
Yeah.
that fucking truck.
It was not nice.
I hated it.
So this busy corner is directly across from Louisville's Yum Center.
I hate
what-
that. Yes. It's so stupid.
It's very stupid.
It's for those who don't know, it's like the big
Yummy
arena and
Sports.
town, and it's
Ew,
owned by.
look at it.
Ew! Look at it.
Look at it.
And it's owned by the like conglomerate corporation that owns like KFC and like Taco Bell and whatever. Yum with an exclamation
Yum.
point. It gets me every
Jesus.
time.
Little on
I
the
hate
nose.
it. It's like it feels fat phobic. It's like,
Yeah.
this is the fatty McYum tubby eat your fucking KFC center. And I'm like, I love my fucking KFC.
Yeah,
Fuck
And my
you.
Taco Bell, but yeah, it does feel.
It feels fat fucking
It feels
phobic
like
kind
out of
every
the
time.
Simpsons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or Sweetums.
Or
It's the Sweetums Corporation.
Idiocracy.
Yeah.
Paunch Burger.
It's Paunch Burger. The Paunch Burger's arena.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lucy, you have to fucking watch Parks and Rec.
Oh, okay.
Seriously.
It's like just a trend. It's just a
Now that
travesty.
Vanderpump season 10 is coming to a close, this is your summer project.
I can handle that.
Okay.
But
gotta
can
do
I
it.
skip the first season?
Yes.
I didn't
Yeah,
get me.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So fortunately, the stolen car crashes into this hotel, but it crashes into like a ground floor empty meeting room, and it's 1:45 in the morning, so nobody's
Didn't
in
hurt
the
anybody.
room.
They're
Yeah.
always empty.
Yeah.
No one uses them.
Some guests were alarmed and thought there might have been an earthquake, which I don't
in
think we
Louisville.
get here, but
I don't
Maybe
know, all
they
the
were-
fracking.
maybe they were visiting from earthquake
much
places. But still, I mean, you hear a fucking loud boom and stuff probably shakes. A car just
Yeah.
drove into your
I
hotel.
probably think
My
the same
first
thing.
thought wouldn't be a car of teenagers driving into the conference room.
Probably not.
Yeah.
There are photos on the drive if you want to see kind of the damage in the car and all of it. Lots of photos. Don't
Oh,
comment
wow.
on
I won't.
the thing that I'm about to reveal. So the hotel wasn't evacuated, although a team of engineers had to be called in to verify that the damage wasn't structural. The drivers sustained
It
minor
wasn't
injuries.
a load-bearing conference room.
It wasn't a load-bearing brick exterior wall of this hotel.
Okay.
The drivers sustained minor injuries and were taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. When interviewed, the owner of the stolen vehicle, Robert McClellan, there are photos of him on the drive too,
Yes, there are.
yeah, said, quote, "I really hope the kids that did it are all right, honestly. I really hope it's a life lesson. It sucks." But he seemed like he was like tickled to
Chill
be
about it,
interviewed
yeah.
on the news. He thought it
Yeah.
was like hysterical. But McClellan didn't address the true elephant in the room for this story. The fact that his vanity license plate reads armed rob,
Yep.
like armed robbery, if he didn't want his car to be stolen in the first place. Armed rob,
Yeah.
vanity
Jesus.
license plate, and his
He
car
also
got
definitely
stolen.
has like a Blue Lives Matter flag
he's got,
license
like,
plate cover.
and hat.
I
Yeah.
thought you were going to say a Bluetooth earpiece, which he probably also has.
Oh yeah, no, he's a disgusting Indiana man. But anyway,
Amazing.
it's just I gasped because none of the articles mentioned the license plate.
Right.
I just
Why
It's
not?
only in the
saw-
picture.
I just saw the picture and was gasped.
Of course, that detail is one that you would notice.
None
That's
of them
very
mentioned
Kenyan.
the license plate?
No,
That's disappointing.
Low hanging fruit. They blew it.
I know. Armed rob.
Armed rob. Amazing.
Journalism really is suffering, isn't it?
It's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead.
It's not
That's why we have
dead.
such amazing jobs. It's dead.
It's not dead.
Okay, so that's my shorty. And now this one is a little bit longer, and we've gotten a million requests to cover this, and we so rarely get to cover like more recent cases just because of how we
Do our
research
show.
and record. But this has just been like blowing up my news feed, and I wanted to talk about it because it's really dumb
Okay.
and sad. I mean, someone dies. It's sad, but it's very dumb.
You can
oh my God.
die in a dumb way.
It's true. I plan to.
Also,
It's on my to-do list.
just for all the lawyers out there, blanket allegedly for this case because it's still kind of unfolding. So Corey and Eric, I think it's Rikins, or maybe
Okay.
it's Richins. I think it's Rikins.
Okay.
Corey and Eric Rikins were an affluent Mormon couple living outside of Salt Lake City. They'd been #blessed with 3 young children, all boys.
Oh no.
And Corey wasn't only a Utah hashtag trad wife and a hashtag boy mom for life. She was also a hashtag girl boss.
Oh, no.
And she ran her own real estate business.
Oh, okay. I was like, did she sell
Leggings.
fucking nail stickers and leggings?
No, she was buying major properties. They had money.
Okay.
She's a real girl boss. Got it.
Well, we will get to it.
Oh, God.
So on the timeline is like a little bit murky. I did my best. Okay. On March 2nd, 2022, Corey was celebrating a big business acquisition. She had just closed on the purchase of a sprawling 22,000 square foot unfinished mansion that she planned to flip.
That is
Okay.
so big.
There are
Of course,
pictures
that's
on
in
the drive.
Mormon land.
It's in Utah. They're like, this is like the trend now to have these like massive McMansions in Utah, and all these like California people are going there and buying them.
Ew. This looks like a Zillow gone wild.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so ugly.
It's hideous.
Yeah.
It is a turret.
Yeah.
She bad.
In Utah.
22,000 square feet, this home.
That's insane.
And so she bought it for $2 million. Her plan was to like put millions in to finish it because it's really not finished. It's just the structure essentially. And
Yeah,
like
like the
windows.
shingles and like the siding isn't even on the fucking
Yeah,
house.
the interior is also just empty. Like it needs to be finished. So she bought it for $2 million and she was going to put millions into it and then try to sell it for $6 million was the goal. Okay. So she's hosting a party to celebrate that she just closed on this big property that she's been dreaming of buying and she's going to flip. And to celebrate, she whips up some Moscow mules for herself and her husband, Eric.
Yerm.
The next day is the big party, and there are guests there, and they, whatever, they're all hanging out. But Eric is not at the party. And he, according to Corey, the night before, he had slept in one of the boys' rooms because their kids are little, and one of the boys, had a nightmare or something, and he was going to, sleep in the boys' room.
Sure.
So she went back to check on him around 3 a.m. and found Eric cold to the touch and unresponsive.
Oh, shit.
Jesus.
So she calls 911, but when paramedics come, he is pronounced dead.
Oh.
An autopsy would later find that Eric had died from a fentanyl overdose.
I heard about this bitch. Yeah. I'm so glad you're covering
Is Amanda
this.
in the dark?
I've not heard of this, but it sounds like the wife, she girl bossed a little too close to the sun.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh, no.
So a few months after her husband's sudden and tragic death, like while she's like celebrating this, big work accomplishment, and she's got 3 young boys to take care of, and their dad just like suddenly dies, she decides to write a children's book to help kids deal with grief.
No.
Because she knows that her boys need something like that. And so probably other children out there are in need as well. So she pens a children's book titled, Are You With Me? Like,
no.
She's such a good mom.
Oh.
Side note, huge pet peeve that everyone thinks that they can, 1, start a podcast, and 2, write a children's book.
Children's books are they're harder than regular books.
Yeah. You can't it's not
This
easy.
is giving who's that lady, Nancy, who did the How to Kill Your Husband fucking essay?
Yeah.
Okay. The wrong brother.
Ish. The wrong brother. so nasty.
So Corey's promoting her book out there. It focused on the 3 C's: connection, or keeping the spirit alive of the person who passed away; continuity, keeping routines for the kids; and care, affirming their feelings, which actually, those are great.
Yeah.
I don't think she came up with that because that's too good for her.
Yeah, that's like some child psychologist established
That
shit.
I'm sure that sounds like that would work. Anyway.
You Googled that.
Yeah.
And put it in a book
That
with
was
your name on
from
it.
Psychology Today.
Right. So she writes this book and then she starts to promote it on different author Facebook pages. And she posts, quote, "Hey, everyone. I lost my husband unexpectedly last year, and we have 3 amazing young boys. As I was trying to find books for my kids that would help comfort them at nights, I really couldn't find anything. So I wrote my own, and it just came out this week on Amazon. Like, please help me promote it, blah, blah, blah." Okay. But meanwhile, police have launched an investigation into Eric's death when the details of his overdose are revealed.
Yeah.
Eric Rikens had consumed 5 times the lethal amount of fentanyl.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit.
And the fentanyl he took was not medical grade, so it wasn't like,
She got it
from
on the
prescription. It would said it was shady or illicit type that would be bought from street dealers. Soon, investigators turned their focus on who else but the grieving widow turned author turned real estate mogul.
Making money off of
profiting
her
off of
husband's death.
They get a warrant for Corey's electronic devices, and they find that despite her saying that she was in her bedroom the whole night, actually she was on the phone in the son's room. I don't think her son was in the room when all of this was like her kids were not actually present when this was happening. I don't think.
God.
And they were like home, but they weren't in the room. And she had deleted a number of text messages, both sent and received that night.
Okay.
Ooh.
This is,
Then the investigation found that Corey had an unnamed acquaintance with a felony drug record.
This is where you can get the fentanyl.
So they get this person, they interview this person, I'm sure to try to like avoid going back to prison. They cooperate.
Yep.
And they tell police that they did sell fentanyl to Corey a few weeks before Eric's death.
Sang like a canary. Good job. Like, definitely sing like a canary.
Yeah. She had even asked them for, quote, the Michael Jackson stuff.
Oh my God.
That's fucking creepy.
Ew.
Because remember, Michael Jackson had died from a fentanyl overdose, which I did not remember.
Give me the stuff that killed Michael Jackson.
His doctor prescribed it to him. That's what killed Prince, too.
Yeah.
So this friend then sold her between 15 and 30 pills. And again, allegedly, she had first tried to poison her husband around Valentine's Day.
No.
2022.
That's so
That's
sweet.
like, I was dumped right around Valentine's Day. Obviously not by my current partner.
If you haven't been dumped around Valentine's Day, did you really go through your 20s?
Right. This is like the only thing worse. It's like I was attempted poisoned around Valentine's Day. It's like the only thing worse than being dumped right around Valentine's Day. Only thing.
So when the special Valentine's Day treat didn't work, she went back to her dealer for more pills and tried again 2 weeks later.
Oh my God.
She's such an idiot. I hate her.
So apparently trouble had been brewing in Mormon paradise for a while already at this point. So, quote, Corey Rikens, 33, was hell-bent on buying the 22,000 square foot unfinished home in Heber City, Utah. But husband Eric Rikens refused to pay $2 million for it.
Well, yeah, you really shouldn't pay $2 million for something that doesn't even have siding.
Well, he just,
it's a huge undertaking to finish that.
Yeah.
It's just, if they think that they're going to be able to sink $2 million into this just to buy the bones and then be able to flip it and sell it for $6 million, like, you're not going to flip that for $4 million. And like, the market's not great, y'all.
It's a really big risk, and he didn't want to take it.
It's a stupid investment. Yeah. So she fucking killed him.
And
Jesus
quote,
Christ.
the dead man's family told investigators that he planned to tell his wife that they were not buying the mansion. And on the same day, she was also told that she was being cut out of Eric's will. And
bye-bye. So this was not her first, like, bullshit that he'd put up with. They're Mormon, so I wonder if he's just doing everything but divorce her because it's like a religious thing.
Absolutely. He had, I'm about to get to it, but he completely was onto her and was like not gonna let her fuck up his finances. But they had 3 young kids, and
he's trying to protect his assets and protect his children financially.
Right. So he doesn't
but
want
in
to
the
like
church, he can't just
divorce her,
divorce his
but
wife.
he's like
Yeah.
getting to the point where he probably is going to divorce her when you're cutting
Oh my
someone out
God.
of your will.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to cut Bill out of my will.
Do you
so
have a will?
indeed, Eric had acted fast, and he actually had already cut Corey out of his will and named his sister as the sole beneficiary instead. And Corey didn't know this
Good.
when she killed him.
Yeah, so she also probably thought she was going to get a payout.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Eric had suspicions that his wife was trying to poison him and had even told his side of the family that if anything happened to him, she was to blame.
I'm telling you right now, if anyone says something like that to you, take it fucking seriously.
Mhm.
That is so fucking scary. If anyone in my family came to me and was like,
If anything
something
happens to me,
to me,
Amanda's to blame.
okay. I retract. Don't take it seriously. It's bullshit when people say that.
But things were moving fast. Things were unraveling fast. And Eric's sisters had already confronted Corey, like, I think earlier in the day, threatening that she would soon be kicked out of the family home. Like, it was all...
Her goose was cooked.
It was all coming home to roost. Like, he
Yep.
was like, we're not fucking buying this property. She was like, I already have the party planned to celebrate buying the property.
I already made the laced Moscow mules.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why didn't you die on Valentine's Day? God damn it. And the sisters were like, we're fucking on to you. I think there were rumors or suspicions that she'd been cheating. Like, she was done. And
Some
she
Real
knew it.
Housewives shit.
Seriously.
Apparently, she'd planned to move into the mansion's 3,000 square foot guest house
Okay.
while she worked on the main part of the property to sell.
Jesus.
It was all just crashing down, and so she poisoned her husband and the father of her kids in a really fucking obvious way.
Allegedly. And yeah.
Allegedly, and then tried to profit from being a hashtag boss bitch grieving widow.
I mean, I kind of want to move to Utah. If you can get all that space and a turret and a 3,000 square foot guest house for $2 million.
Utah's
Right?
gorgeous.
Damn.
lot of
Like
people
their
saying
guest
it.
house,
Utah. Apparently,
their
Utah's
guest house
becoming
is-
unaffordable.
twice the size of my house.
Yeah, the 3,000 square foot guest house is so egregious.
Yep.
Yep.
$2 million. Okay.
So
All
Amazon
right.
has pulled Corey's children's book, Are
Damn
You
it.
With
Bye-bye.
Me,
Bye-bye.
from their website.
Are you with me?
Wow.
No, bitch.
Are you there, God?
Gonna haunt
it's
ya.
me, Corey. I killed my husband.
Mhm.
Oops.
So there are photos of her on the drive and of the house and of poor Eric and one of,
Ugh.
she's a dumb bitch. She's an
She's
idiot.
dumb. She's also cuter as a blonde. I really don't like her brunette bob. It's trash.
Mhm.
How dare she?
Mhm.
Anyway, you
Yeah.
suck, Corey.
Yeah, so that's my beyond stupid what are the chances that the
Damn.
grief author.
Honestly,
Pretty fucking
it's
stupid.
it's women like her that make me want to roll back women's rights. I'm
Oh
Oh
telling
my
you.
god.
It's not going
Obviously,
well.
we don't
I'm
deserve to vote.
clearly. Exactly.
We're
this
too
is how I
hormonal.
feel. Yep, we're
She
too
must have been on her
emotional.
period when she tried
Yep.
to poison him with fentanyl.
She probably was both times. Well done.
Nice
you.
job.
Couple little fun
love it.
shorties.
So, obviously, this topic got me thinking about coincidences. And I started Googling the weirdest coincidences in history. So, I'm just going to share some absolute fucking doozies with you today.
Okay.
And there's one that I'm going to share at the end that, like, might not be real, but I'm choosing to believe that it's real. So,
Like
just
the guy with the last name Stamps who works in marketing at ShipStation.
no, that's real, I think.
I
But
hope
yeah.
that's real.
So here we go. Buckle up. First little shorty. Baby safety was really not a thing until like 1990. I swear to God. And while I often look back at like the toys and car seats and like lead that we played with from our childhoods,
I've played
And
with mercury.
literally played with mercury. And I'm amazed to be alive today. But this story like blows that out of the fucking water and is a reminder to all parents to check your windows. Okay?
In case they're open?
For
Yup.
like blinds?
No,
or
like in case they're open.
Shit.
Oh.
Okay.
Enough for your babies to crawl out of them.
Oh my God. Okay.
This is the tale of Joseph Figlock, baby magnet. This is from the Detroit Free Press. Quote, Wednesday, September 28th, 1938. Thank you, newspapers.com.
Is this
Kenya's
person's
lover.
last name Baby Magnet?
No, his last name is Figlock,
Figlock is the middle name.
comma,
They always
baby
have a
magnet.
middle name.
What are
There's
the
a
chances?
comma. There's a comma.
Oh, I couldn't. I don't know. I was listening to you.
Quote, for the second time within a year, Joseph Figlock, Department of Public Works worker, he was a street sweeper, was involved in a type of freak accident at 10:10 a.m. Tuesday when a baby fell out of the sky and landed on Figlock's head.
Oh my God.
David Glenn Thomas, 2 years old, played too near a window in his 4th floor home at 77 East Canfield Avenue, police said, and fell out, striking Figlock, who was sweeping the alley below, on the head and shoulders.
Are they both okay?
The boy was taken to receiving hospital with fractures of the thigh, arm, and shoulder and an injured skull, but he survived.
Oh my God. He fell out of a 4th-story window.
Figlock, who was uninjured, said that he had escaped death and saved a child's life almost a year ago when a baby girl fell in the same fashion and also from 4 floors above as Figlock worked on John R. Street near Hancock Avenue.
The fuck?
Twice in a year, he has broken the fall of a baby falling out of a window from a 4-story building. 4-story building. Twice.
I would quit my job.
I mean, he's a hero.
No, you got to work every day. Just in
Every
case.
day.
I don't want babies falling on my head all the time.
Have
That
you seen
child
those
also survived.
photos of like
The window baby cages?
Yes.
Yeah,
The catio
They're
for babies. They're horrifying.
They're babios.
No. So this
Lucy,
man.
no.
No, Lucy. This man was in the
Don't
right
tell
place
me what to do.
at the right time to save 2 babies from death. But I guess in the wrong place at the wrong time to like avoid
For
being
all those
hit
other babies
by
falling out
2
the
flying
windows.
babies. It's just like the most insane shit I've ever heard. And there is a delightful photo of a dumbfounded Figlock on the
Yes.
drive that will also be on the blog. Like, look at this man's face. He's like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. In freak mishaps, street worker hit in plunge of child. Twice victim in odd type incident. I'm obsessed.
Plunge of child.
I love plunge of child. I loved that story so much. I sent it to my aunt and uncle, and I was like, I don't know why. I just feel like you would love this. It's very news of the weird. Okay, so this story I feel like we've mentioned before, maybe in our Evil Twins episode, or maybe I just read about this in psych classes, but like I don't think we've gone in depth on it at all. It creeps me the ever-loving fuck out. And this is from my most reliable source to date, Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yes.
Which I chose this article specifically because it was more condensed, but this is indeed true, and a reputable publication like the New York Times has also written about it. So
I mean, Ripley's does more investigating than a lot of other publications.
I'm telling you, Ripley's Believe It or Not slaps. Quote, so, nature versus nurture debaters. What do you make of this one? When 2 twin boys were placed for adoption in 1940 at only 3 weeks old, their adoptive parents coincidentally named them both James.
They looked like a James.
There you go. Both men came to be named Jim for short, and that was just the start of it. The 2 would grow up only 40 miles apart from each other, but not know they existed, and go on to live lives that were spookily similar. One of the boys was adopted by the Lewises of Lima, and the other by the Springers of Piqua. Both families knew that the child they adopted had a twin, but did not know what became of them. From there, though their paths had diverged, they unknowingly forged lives as identical as their DNA.
Oh.
Both had beloved childhood dogs named Toy, which is like not a common dog name.
What?
As school children, both had a proclivity for math and woodworking, but were no great shakes at spelling. If their childhoods were uncannily similar, though, then their early adulthoods were truly remarkable. Both Jims had married twice. The first time, they married women named Linda. Both of them did. When this didn't work out, they divorced. They met and went on to marry women named Betty.
What?
Stop.
Yes. Yes. Both Jim Lewis and Jim Springer had a son, and I'm sure you all saw this coming. Both gave their boy the same name.
Toy.
James Allen. The only difference was that Jim Springer spelled Allen with 2 L's, and the other guy spelled Allen with 1 L. They were both
What?
James Allen. Both Jims were heavy smokers, drove the same car, and had similar jobs in security. Jim Lewis was a security guard, while Jim Springer had been a deputy sheriff. They even took vacations at the same Florida beach. Neither man knew any of these.
Speechless.
It's shocking. Neither man knew any of these impossible facts about their brother. However, until Lewis, age 37, decided to try to get in contact with his twin. Okay, so I guess they knew they had a twin, but had never met them.
Or one of them found out at some point he had a twin.
Sure. In 1977, he succeeded in finding contact details through an Ohio courthouse, and the pair spoke on the phone and eventually agreed to meet. On February 9th, 1979, the Jim twins were finally reunited. When their fascinating case came to light, scientists saw how very valuable they could be to the study of reunited twins. They took part in a study conducted by Dr. Thomas Bouchard of the University of Minnesota, who found that their medical histories and brainwave tests were almost identical. So too were their results in a personality test.
There is no free will.
No,
No, of
it's a
course not.
simulation. And if you look on the drive, there is a photo of them, not the baseball cap twins. You'll see them. I'll talk about them in a little bit, or maybe next. But there's a side-by-side of them from like the 70s and then more current day.
One of them
Has a horrible
gets
haircut.
bad haircuts.
Really rough haircuts. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the
They did
biggest
not
difference between them.
share
One of
that.
the gyms needs a new barber.
Yep.
This reminds me of that Perfect Strangers documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was so good.
That thing was wild.
Yeah. Well, here's another weird one involving twins, or so we thought. This is from top10s.net. They have great lists, but was verified by Huffington Post. I list my sources, baby. This is the story of Brady Fiegel and Brady Fiegel.
Oh, God.
Quote, in a perplexing coincidence that no one would have believed if it wasn't real, Brady Fiegel is a 6'4" pitcher with red hair and a red beard who plays, at the time of this writing, in the Oakland Athletics minor league system. Meanwhile, in Texas, another Brady Fiegel is a 6'4" pitcher with red hair and a red beard who plays in the Texas Rangers minor league system.
Oh my God.
Both Bradys have undergone ulnar collateral ligament reconstruction surgery, also known as Tommy John surgery. And they both even went to the same doctor to get it done.
Imagine being that doctor. Is that how they found each other?
I'm not sure how they found each
The
other.
doctor's like, dude, you just had this surgery.
So, I'm
HIPAA.
so now I have to do the other knee?
Can I do this again?
Oh, wait. The same?
After
knee?
they were
Didn't
discovered,
I just do this?
after they were discovered as nearly identical twins, Inside Edition performed a DNA test on them, and it was determined that both of them also have 53% Germanic ancestry, which, like, who doesn't?
Right.
And absolutely no DNA in common. It's just a coincidence that they look exactly the same, have the same name, the same job, and the same doctor.
Oh, my God.
There's a photo of them on the drive. It makes no sense to me how they're not twins. Someone explain it. Like, this.
Look at them.
We live in a
They're not-
fucking
it's not even just
simulation,
the
you guys.
height and hair color.
It's the
face,
smile.
it's the nose.
The
the
shape
nose.
of their
And they have
head.
the same name.
Like, one guy has like a longer jawline and like a pointier chin. But other than that, They're the same person.
Why does that one guy have his eyes shut?
Oh, they caught him on a snap. That's probably like a screenshot from a TV interview, like a locker room interview, and I bet they just grabbed it. I didn't grab that shot. I pulled it off the internet.
Oh my God.
They're not related.
They have the same bent to one side, sort of pointy, prominent nose.
Yup.
Yeah.
Someone wrote this code
Pointy ears.
in our simulation to fuck us up. And let me tell you, it's fucking working. I am indeed fucked up over this.
One of them kind of looks like if Ed Sheeran
I
and
was
a
just gonna
leprechaun
say,
had a baby,
the
and
guy
one
on
of
the
them
left?
is a little bit cuter. Yeah.
Yeah. The guy on the
With
left
better
is like
teeth.
is like baseball Ed Sheeran, and the guy on the right is like fuckable Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Ed Sheeran is not fuckable.
He's not cute.
Oh my God, I don't like this.
We live in a simulation, you guys. Like, this is the dress as people.
The dress.
I can't. I can't. Okay. Let's recover from that. So this next individual I just think is beyond stupid for ever getting on a boat again, but nevertheless, here we are. This is from nationalarchives.org. Quote, Violet Constance Jessup was a 24-year-old stewardess aboard Titanic. Her career at sea started in 1908 aboard Royal Mail carriers. But in 1910, she joined the White Star Line to work on passenger liners.
Oh, no.
Her first liner was the Oceanic until 1911 when she joined the RMS Olympic. Violet served aboard the Olympic until 1912 when, like many of the Olympic crew, she signed articles to serve aboard the Titanic. Violet was in bed when the Titanic hit the iceberg, but as soon as she realized something was wrong, she dressed and went on deck. Violet helped women and children into lifeboats until she herself was given a baby to look after. I have a child. I'm all she has. And ordered into lifeboat number 16. She was picked up the next morning by the Carpathia. Violet rejoined Olympic in June of 1912, where she served until 1914, and she went ashore to train as a VAD nurse for the British Red Cross. She was then sent to serve on the hospital ship, the HMHS Britannic, sister to both Titanic and Olympic. On the morning of November 21st, 1916, Britannic struck a mine and started to sink.
Fuck no.
An attempt to get into shallow waters grounded the ship. The first lifeboats managed to get clear of the ship, but the later ones, including Violet's, found themselves unable to get clear of the still running propellers, which were now fully out of the water in the shallows. And they're huge. And they're just
my
like
God. Sucking the lifeboats into them, and they're trying to. Oh my God.
Correct.
No.
Violet
No.
was pulled so close to the ship that she hit her head on the keel and had to be pulled into a lifeboat. Over 1,000 people were saved, including Violet, but 30 people died in the incident.
Good Lord.
Violet continued to serve aboard ships, and just before Christmas in 1950, a 63-year-old Violet signed off the Andes and finally retired from her remarkable life at sea. She died.
I thought you were gonna name a third.
I almost did. She died of heart failure in 1971, and her memoirs came to light in 1996. Can you believe?
Violet, no.
I know, Violet. What are you doing, girl?
Imagine the trauma.
She was sucked toward a giant propeller and hit her head on the keel.
I know this is different because it's like military, but my grandpa was in, I think he was in the Korean War. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sure.
My grandpa was in the Korean War.
He was on multiple ships that sank.
Yeah.
Like the kind of stories where the men around you are getting picked off by sharks.
Yeah.
Like more than once.
God. No, thank you.
Yeah.
The ocean's buck. I'm over it. This is really sad and also just completely nuts. Once again, from my boy Ripley's. My main man, Rip. Quote, Rip Torn. South African astronomer Daniel Dutoit gave a lecture on how death can strike anyone at any time.
Great. Turning your head weird.
Yep. Great. Upon the completion of this very lecture, Dutoit popped a mint into his mouth It slid into the back of his throat, causing him to choke to death on the spot. He died moments after giving a lecture about how you could die at any time.
Everyone's like, is this part of it?
Are you part of it? No,
Get
honey.
it.
I mean, it is part of it.
Oh,
I guess.
The finale.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. I can't. This next one is, I know, you guys, we do not have free will. Everything's a simulation. Like, that was absolutely the aliens going, oh, yeah, Dr. Dutoit.
Can I just level up my simulation? I don't care if it's a simulation. I just want to not be so stressed out all the time
Literally,
in my simulation.
As I was writing this, I was sitting outside. I was having like a beautiful moment in my simulation for once. Like the weather was lovely. My flowers are blooming. And I was like, wow, I accept my simulation, but like, did you have to give me diabetes? Like, did you have to give me type 1 diabetes? Everything else is
Can
fine.
I just toggle that off?
I'll
in my
take
simulation?
the anxiety and the ADHD, like whatever. Those are
Toggle off.
yeah, can we toggle off the diabetes?
Yeah.
I can't. Anyway, this next one is for Lucy. It's about your distant relative, Eddie Poe.
Yay.
This is from All That's Interesting. Quote, Edgar Allan Poe had but one novel published, the narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket, which was released in 1838. Sounds riveting. The novel tells of a doomed Antarctic journey in which 4 shipwrecked crewmen decided to eat cabin boy Richard Parker in order to survive.
This sounds like my kind of book.
It really does. So he
Really
wrote
does.
that, and it was published in 1838. In 1884, 4 crew members survived the shipwreckage of a vessel named the Mignonette, like in, I don't know if it was in the Antarctic or in Nantucket or whatever, Antarctica, I don't know, but this happened. The survivors decided to eat their cabin boy in order to live, and as fate would have it, that cabin boy's name was Richard Parker.
Oh,
The same character name from the book. I know.
And they ate him? They fully ate him?
They fully fucking ate him. He gone. He gone.
Oh.
Bones and all.
Theory, the cabin boys eat last, so he died first, so they just ate him.
Probably. You're probably not wrong. But also like
Or he was just the most expendable and easy to kill.
That's
Both.
why not both? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the last one I have for you, and this is the one that like might not be true, but it like shows up in so many different publications throughout history.
We're going with it.
So we'll see. But it's a crazy story, and I love it. This is from the Mirror UK. Doy. Quote, when a bullet screamed past Henry Ziegland and only grazed his face before embedding in a tree, he must have felt like the luckiest man alive. It was 1893, and the Texan farmer had not long broken off his relationship with his then girlfriend, Maisie Tickner, who didn't take the news at all well.
Sounds like it.
He admitted to being unfaithful while they were together, yet sadly, she felt she could not live without him and took her own life. Maisie's brother blamed Henry fully for the loss of his sister, and in an act of revenge, he went over to Henry's house in Honey Grove and shot Henry Ziegland before turning the gun on himself and ending his life. However, the bullet intended to finish off Henry had actually just like grazed him. So he like thought he was hit and thought he was dead, but had lodged itself into a tree that was behind him, seemingly out of harm's way forever. A wounded Henry had miraculously survived an assassination attempt, but fate had other plans. He continued his life as normal, marrying and having a child until one day, 20 years after the near-miss incident, while out in the forest with his son chopping firewood on his land for the family fire, he came across one bark that refused to fall under the weight of his axe. Undeterred, Henry had the idea of placing dynamite inside the trunk to blow it up, which apparently was a popular technique at the time.
Smart.
After standing at least 50 yards away from the tree with his son, the dynamite was ignited and the tree exploded. Unfortunately for Henry, it happened to be the exact same one that the bullet had been sitting in for the past 2 decades. The silver slug dislodged and fired back out straight into his head, killing him instantly while his son watched.
Go surreal. Go surreal.
Go surreal. With perhaps the most patient bullet in the world involved, it was unsurprising that the story of this freak accident and its dark history made the national press. The first news report about it was thought to be in Mississippi's Jackson Evening News in 1905 that described it as a marvelous case of punishment on earth for the sins of the flesh. And 20 years ago, Henry Ziegland, then a handsome, wealthy young man, jilted beautiful Maisie Tickner, and the girl committed suicide. That's a quote from that Mississippi article. The same story then reappeared 8 years later in various other papers from the New Yorker, from New York to New Orleans, as if it was a current event, but naming a different Texas location. So this makes it seem like, is it a rumor? Is it real? Like, there's really no way to fucking find out.
I'm going with real.
Right? Mm-hmm. One theory is that a couple of teenagers devised this whole story in 1905 for a joke and managed to trick journalists into believing it took place, but like, who knows? Whether the story of Henry Ziegland came from the minds of impish adolescents or it really did happen, it makes for a tragically unlucky tale. I think it fucking happened.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. Go with it.
Well, if fucking twins that aren't actually twins could exist and have the same name and the same doctor and get the same surgery when they don't even live in the same state and have the same fucking job, then this could fucking happen.
I have my great-great-grandfather or whatever, I forget how many greats, was sitting inside his home and lightning came down the chimney and struck him and killed him.
Mm-hmm. There was
your odds of getting struck by lightning more than once in your, like, if you're struck
so
once,
small.
You have a way higher chance of getting struck again.
Well, what's crazy is that I almost included this too. There's a story about an individual who was struck by lightning like 4 times in their lifetime, and it like never killed them. And then when they did die and they were buried, their fucking tombstone was also struck by lightning.
Does it like electrify your body? It's got to have something to do with
there's something electrical with some of us. It's like me and my mom. There's something we don't understand yet. About
there's so much we don't understand yet about everything.
You guys are electrically cursed.
We really are.
Which reminds me, I don't need your Amazon or your YouTube password. I'm going to make my own.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get haunted.
That's fair. The stakes are too high on this finale tonight, so she's making her own account.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, those are my wild coincidences throughout history. And like when I tell you, I mean, I texted you guys. I was sitting outside and I was like, my stories today are going to make your brains melt out of your head. Mm-hmm. I was sitting outside tapping away with my jaw on the ground.
The Brady Fiegel one is really getting to me.
Insane.
The Brady Fiegel and then the Jim twins who had the same dog, the same job, the same
both
car,
wives,
the same 2 different wives' names, the same kid name,
the same car,
the fuck,
the same brains when they were tested.
I can't. It's a no from me, dog. Anyway, we live in a simulation, and that's why this hair will not stop bouncing.
Well, sweet dreams, everyone. See you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.